again. I got lots of background noise, but that's okay. I'm just kind of testing things out. And if anybody's around, I'll ask them questions about my website I got up here. This is not public yet. It's my Bible website, but it's on my local machine, and thinking about adding some features. And I'm supposed to be showing live chat on the screen. That's not working. Lots of things aren't working. So it's been a while since I did this, but I just wanted to check a few things. I'm going to try to play a recorded sound, and it's appropriate for a stream that I didn't have set ahead of time. Here we go. Okay, with the background noise, I don't know if it picked up the wind in the background, but I thought that'd be a good one to use for whenever there are awkward pauses, which can happen a lot, and it never fails. My voice is fine before I start going live, and then it gets raspy. Oh well, maybe I should take the hint, right? But yeah, wasn't much going on, so I decided to try a few things, and there's YouTube in the chat going disconnect, connect, disconnect, connect. I hate that. I don't know what's going on with that these days. But yeah, I don't know why OBS is not picking up. I think that's a dock in OBS or something. Tab. No. There we go. I was in the wrong thing. But supposed to show YouTube live control panel, but it's not doing that. Chat. Let's do chat. So chat is disabled. Copy current address. That's not working. I don't know what you're supposed to do with that. It used to work. Hey, Rhonda, good to see ya. It's been a long time, hasn't it? Yeah, I'm mostly just fiddling with controls, but since you're here, I don't know if you can see on the screen. I said a little bit ago that this is not online yet. This is my site that I've had for a long time, but I'm adding some features. This is the topical studies. I added the commentary. I put that all in here, and so it might be handy. Hey, Pete Etchen. So I'm thinking about adding the commentary and adding topical studies with a handy little search here. And it will pick up articles from the list. So I have them by categories. And I'm trying to consolidate and organize all my material, but there's a lot of things that aren't really of interest anymore as far as a lot of specific things on my website from the past. And I thought I would try to clean up links as I went, and that's kind of slow, but there's some good articles here. Again, you can't read this yet, but you can go. I'm trying to dual upload to wherever the link is here. I'll find it in a second. That's my admin page. You don't care about that, but visit site. That is this one. And I had bought this domain for 3 years. I hope we're not here 3 years, but so I figured, well, I don't have to worry about payments or anything just to keep that domain. And then I started working on my other website and thought, it'd be nice to use this domain name for my Gift New Testament with all the new little features, but I might have to think something else, and just about every domain name is taken. That's just how it is. The background noise is my dishwasher. Trying to have a background screen. I don't have my good green screen right now, but background isn't much of a factor right now anyway. So I don't know why the chats aren't showing what they're supposed to. I don't know. Let me hide my webcam for a second. No, chat is disabled. I don't know why, because I gave it the address. Let me see here. Where did that go? Pop out chat. There it is. And I gave it the right. Whoops, that's not the right one. Let's copy and paste and see if we can get this to show up on the screen. There it is. I don't know why that didn't work before. Now if I could just get the other side to go. Copy current address. It's in the clipboard. I don't know why it's not working. Oh well, that's one you can't see anyway. It's just handy to have the live chat in my control view window here. But anyhow, this is the site I've been working on. It's WordPress. I figured it might help with visibility, and it's got stats and things that are pathetic, but I don't advertise well. Hey, Christian Zekis, good to see you. I hope I'm saying your name right. I am also on X as @BibleU777. I can't seem to copy that. Nope. And there's some nasty stuff on screen. This is why I don't like it. But anyway, if I know how to use X, I could post links to things and follow people and all that. So anyway, those are the things I've been doing. I think I posted this on my channel in the community tab. Once in a while I post something there. But yeah, here on X, here in WordPress, and here maybe you'll see someday, maybe you won't, but I did have the search thing. It does that, and then you can see an article and read it. And like I said, I'm updating links. So hopefully that'll be up and running someday. Let's see. I have to go way off screen here to look at the chat. Zekas, okay? Now I know how to say it in my head. Thanks. Good to know. Whether I'll remember it is a different story, but at least you told me. And it's here on the screen. I can always look it up again. So let me try my little sound effect I played earlier, because I don't know if anybody was here then. Just to see if I could do sounds like that. Okay, cool, Rhonda, thanks. I need to find you on X. Just got it. Okay, yeah, like I said, it's here. I'll just type it out. It's the same as YouTube. You type that right. My vision's really blurry. I think it's the cataracts. Right at the moment isn't as bad as it has been sometimes, but it comes and goes. Sometimes I just can't read text at all. Oh, cool. I'm glad that works. Okay. Yeah, it was as much to test out that as it was to just go live once in a while so I remember how. I just wish I could get the chat to go in my control studio. I don't know why that's not working. But, yeah, there I am on X, and I don't post much yet. But if you can find me, then that will help, because I don't know how to really search for people. I have found a couple, but not, personal friends or anything. There's one personal friend, but he hasn't accepted it or whatever you do. I don't know. Anyway, I don't know if you can read these things. If I make it really big, it'll go into phone mode, which does that when you're on a phone. And then you can click on things, and hopefully that will be readable. So let me go back out a little bit. There's the website view. But yeah, so I'm going to add this eventually to my, the one that it is now is, let me see if I can copy the link and paste it here. That's the current one online. this would be commentary on topics would be new things to add. It's always scary adding things because you don't want to break it, But like I said, I've been wanting to put that in its own domain anyway, not as part of the feather.net stuff. So that's why I haven't put it up there yet. But that also would mean copying the database and everything for the Bible text. And that's a lot of work. Plus more money for a domain name, even though you can get domain hosting for like $2 a month, which I have currently. And but domain names can cost $20 or $30 a year. Anyway, I'm still working on this. I have a lot of work to do, so I'm not close to putting that up yet. So, yeah, that cricket sound will come in handy. Sometimes. I wish I'd had it before, where I figured out how to do that. So, because audio capture on a Mac is not straightforward. They do a lot of things really well, seamless across devices and all that, which is handy for me in this stage of my life to have things that just work. I ran Linux for a lot of years, and a lot of times you get these quirky little problems, and I am not a power user anymore. It's like when if you were young and you worked on cars, it's fun to tinker and build your own, but then eventually you get older and you go, I just want a car out of the box that works and somebody else fixes. So that's what I've been working on. And as somewhere the link for, I think it's in the description, for all my links, BitChute, Rumble, and Odyssey. Rumble is probably the one most people are drifting to from YouTube. BitChute has more views, sometimes more than YouTube, although there's no interaction really, but the videos have more views. But I don't always upload videos like this, live streams like this, because they're mostly to an audience that isn't in BitChute. I could do Restream, but then if you have more than 2 destinations, you have to pay to upgrade, which it didn't used to be that way. So what are you going to do? See, it's not letting me share on X. I don't know why. Yeah, Rumble is good. There is a lot of bad stuff there, but that's the world. You just tune out it's like watching TV. There's a lot of bad stuff there, but you find stuff that you want to watch and only watch that. Although here in Ohio, we can't watch even college football anymore. Don't get me started on that. Anyway. So if you have any ideas on things to put here, I've covered so many things, it's hard to pick out stuff. Share it on Facebook. Okay, thank you. Good to see you, Titan Long. It's been a while. I'm okay. The link is in the description. Let me see if I can pull that up and put it in the chat right now. Let's see if I can find that link. And if I lean forward and squint a lot, it's because my eyesight is really bad from cataracts. I'm hoping by the first of the year I'm switching to a different Medicare Advantage plan, and a new year means I can get my coverage started again on on the new year on dental and optical, and I'm hoping they can check my eyes and see if I can get cataract surgery. You had your own Bible search site. Hina, good to see you. So anyway, there's my link of links. So you can find Rumble and BitChute and Odyssey and everything on there, YouTube. I think I have all my current websites on there. And then, and this reminds me of the issue of community online for Christians. It's very difficult to find any that has any consistency. I've tried starting communities, I've tried being in communities, and every single one of them falls apart. There's other topics, science, politics, whatever. As long as you're arguing and you have a bunch of people that are there every day, people like that. I'm not into that. But the problem is, why don't Christians want to be on panels together and discuss stuff? I don't, I've tried for years and years to figure that out, and I can't. Let's see. Use Cloudflare for free hosting, but the back-end hosting was the tough part. Yeah. Yep, it does. You can host for cheap, find cheap hosting, but it's, domain names are getting kind of pricey. Especially this .faith, it was cheap through WordPress. With the plan, the introductory plan, I got a 3-year rate. But .faith is a newer domain extension. I forget what they call it, but it's expensive. It's crazy. Thanks. Yeah, I'll see if I can upload this stream onto Rumble later on. Cool, Christian. Good that you got the links. They're in the description of all my videos, that master link list. I got tired of posting all the individual links, so I just said, here's a site that will hold a whole bunch of them, and I just give out that link, and then everybody can find wherever. So, other than what I'm doing with the website, you can post under the video if you think of something later. I don't get a lot of engagement on video comments. It seems if I don't do a live stream, hardly anybody comes around. And that's okay. This isn't everybody's cup of tea. But it's what I do. Anyway, it might be useful to somebody. But I'm hoping that these categories will come in useful someday when I put it onto a live website. It's funny that the false teachings one is the longest of all, starting off. And Christian community, the one I just did is Love and Discipline, and I think I did Spiritual Gifts recently. Well, all of this is fairly recent because they're on the WordPress site. But the New Apostolic Reformation, which I could show you here. New Perspective on Paul. That's not the one. There it is. This is probably the most insidious, which is why I use the word in my snippet there at the front. What they call that as in WordPress excerpt. Too many terms to remember anymore. Look into that, especially the links. They are engaged in spiritual abuse. There's a whole bunch of things. I'm glad it's your cup of tea. Did you give up on a community? You used to have a Discord. Yeah, pretty much. I closed everything down because you can't get Christians to commit to anything. You can get people to commit on, like I said, in politics or anything else that people want to argue about all the time. There's lots of places where there's panels that meet regularly, and there's Christians on the panels, and they love it and can't get enough of it, and they're there all the time. And you can't get those same Christians to do that with a Christian channel. Now, there's one I've been going to, and I've talked about this in my community tab on my YouTube here, Standing for Truth. It's okay. They do debates all the time. They have a special loathing of pre-trib rapture, but they don't talk about it that much, which is fine with me. But the thing that bothers me most about the channel is they allow, especially on that topic, when it happens, they allow people who hate pre-trib rapture to slander their opponent in a debate to the point of calling them lost. In any real debate moderation, that wouldn't happen, especially with Christians moderating and being supposedly everybody involved is a Christian, and they're calling each other names and calling each other lost, and the moderator lets that go. That really bothers me, but most of the time they don't talk about that. And maybe there's no place else for me to be, but maybe I can eventually get some people to listen, but my hopes aren't high. But yeah, it's just been really difficult to find a Christian community that doesn't go off the rails I mean, as far as it's fine to disagree, but when they call you lost or ban you and tell you that you have an agenda because you voiced disagreement in the chat and call you a troll, that's not a group I want to be in. I want to find some reasonable, calm people who don't think that disagreement is a threat. Can't find it. Yep. And I just wish there was a place where there were more Christians with the same mindset. And some of you know I've been in there's this one Flat Earth debate channel for like 10 years. And I just can't go anymore because, well, there were two of them. And one I stopped because they were openly allowing and condoning blasphemy in the chat. And just because the person was giving them super chat money, and don't think it's a problem. The Christian owner of the site didn't think it's a problem. I can't support that. If I were just a regular commenter there, that would be fine. But the problem is that I'm a moderator, and the reason I'm a moderator there and in the Flat Earth debate one is because other moderators ban me on site without reason or warning if I don't have moderator status. So they can't. That's all it is. So they can't ban me. But if somebody comes along and sees me as a moderator on a channel, they can assume that I'm a supporter of all that goes on there because I'm defending the channel, and I can't defend it. The other channel, the Flat Earth debate one, there's been so many times where they just tear it at each other's throats and think, well, this is real. This is just, people, we're showing that we're not an echo chamber, and that's fine. But I think there are better ways to do that. But I seem to be asking too much of people today to say, can you be civil? You can be firm and forceful without being crude or childish and, having a food fight, which is essentially what it's been. You can get your point across firmly without resorting to toddler behavior. And my toddlers were never that bad. So I don't go there anymore. I can't, as a moderator, go there. You were shadow banned there. I'm going to bring that chat over here in front of the window. You're probably tired of looking this. Let me put something on screen that looks a little better. There we go. Let's see. Shadow banned there was rebuking that blasphemy. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, the one, I don't want to name channels. I'm not here to slander people, but the one. It's not the Flat Earth debate channel. It is another Flat Earth channel, but anyway. Yeah, and I can pretty much tell you who probably banned you. Because when it happens without warning or reason, I have my suspicions. No proof, but suspicions. But anyway, I don't want to do too much drama, but the thing is that it's hard to find Christians in general who care about the fruit of the Spirit and behavior. All they want to talk about is the fact that Jesus flipped tables and chased people with a whip. But that wasn't his norm. He talked about being kind. That one. Okay. I didn't know he was up to that. Okay. I know what has happened to me in Discord, which is why I'm not there. The big Flat Earth channel there I used to be in. It's been a couple of years since I've been there. That person who did that to me there is hanging around in the channel you're shadow banned at. When you were on Quantum Eraser channel is how I found you. Okay. Awesome. Yeah, I'm sorry, I just can't go there anymore. The blasphemy thing is a line I couldn't allow. And, yeah, nothing's improved since then. Whatever year you were there before. And it's just people, it's not the topic. It's not even the community. All communities are made of people, and people have these issues. I would expect more from Christians is all. Now, the Flat Earth Debate Channel is not run by a Christian, but there are Christians on panel. And there's Christians in the chat, and then the chat was kind of mixed as to whether they thought the most recent food fight was okay or not. But if you object to bad behavior, you're called soft or politically correct, which I thought softness was kind of like what the Bible says Christians are supposed to do with each other, you know? Yeah, fruit of the Spirit, exactly. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. There's a lot of Christians I see practically none of those features in or qualities. But again, salvation is by faith in the Jesus who rose from the dead. So someone is saved if they truly believe that, but whether they live consistently with that, then I would point them to 1 Corinthians 3, and I might as well put that on the screen. Well, you know what? I can do that with this channel. I can go to 1 Corinthians 3, which says, the material someone builds, with the analogy of a building, the material someone builds with gold, silver, gems, or wood, hay, and straw, that person's work, not about faith, will become obvious in that day, the day of the Lord, the day of judgment. It will be revealed with fire. The fire will test the quality of each one's work. Let me blow that up so you can see it. Whatever is left standing will be the basis for their reward. But if someone's work is completely burned up, they have no works, no fruit of the Spirit, none of that, they will forfeit any reward, yet they themselves will be saved in spite of the fire. So unlike the people who hate pre-trib rapture, I'm not going to call them lost, but I will say there's something seriously wrong with you. The baby was born, but it isn't growing. It isn't maturing. It doesn't resemble Jesus in the slightest, and that's shameful. And like I said, if I have to be a moderator so the other mods can't ban me, that means I can't even be in the chat, because then I would be seen as condoning the poor behavior, and I just can't do that. And my cursor is moving here because I'm dragging the chat back over where I can see it. But apparently that's too much to ask of Christians these days, to behave themselves, to mature. And there's a multitude of scriptures in the teaching part of the New Testament for Christians, which is the letters or epistles, and this is just one of those, where it talks about, the fruit of the Spirit, the quality of your work. There's another one that talks about us standing before the judgment seat of Christ for things done in the body, whether good or bad, because some people think it's just being rewarded for, if you did good things, you get extra rewards, and other people just won't get a reward, and everybody's happy and have rainbow lollipops. But it says good or bad, so you're going to get something for your bad things too. And you may not, and which may be either you got something bad or you just didn't get something good, but it will be known as something you were judged for that was bad. And a lot of Christians, I think, just don't care. Some of them have expressed that. I've done some bad things in my life that I'll have to answer for, but that doesn't result in them trying to stop doing the bad things. And I don't understand that. And I would just, like to find other Christians who are on the same page, who want to be online so we can exhibit this to the world. That's been tried before. We thought we were going to do some other channels together, that on biblical cosmology, and that fell apart for different reasons. No, not because the people weren't dedicated, but because of health things. One lost their spouse, the other had a heart attack. It just wasn't meant to be, I guess. And that's the biblical cosmology site I also have a link to, but let me put that up here on the screen somewhere if I can just find it. Okay, there's the website. So let me put that in the chat. And it should be up on the screen. I think it is. Yeah. So there you are. That's the biblical cosmology site. It's got some pretty nifty tools on it. This thing, you can hover over stuff, zooming in on your browser, go directly to the link. Where things you can go on, it's kind of almost like a mesh network tool. I'd have to ask the guy how he did that, but he's had some health problems. But it says, a timeline of cosmology statements through the years. Anyway, it's a pretty neat thing. But that went out in a separate tab. So check that out sometime. And that's it's just not changing much anymore. There is a forum associated with this. I'm apparently not logged in. I had to clear browser cache and stuff like that. But I think it might be into resources. Let's see. No. Books, I think. Yeah, some out of print. Yeah, those are good too. Education, homeschooling resources. I don't know where the forum is. I'm straining too hard with my eyes to see that, so I'm not going to do that anymore. But anyway, and I got stuff up here on my website with, this is the basic salvation thing to go to heaven. And then we have the charts, the usual charts I have every place. The book studies are also like what I have on that other site that isn't online yet. You just click on these, and like this one has a sub-pages, different chapters. If you want to see how I have for Genesis 1 and 2, I have, I think, part of 3. A paraphrase of my own. Anyway, Bible study basics, it's definitions and things, and then we have resources on other stuff. So there's a lot there. The posts are mostly going to be topics this is basically the topical studies is the posts, and the book studies are what they call pages in WordPress. So I don't know if anybody's still here, but I might shut down pretty soon. But yeah, I can't think of anything else to say. Like I said, I can later on, when this is done rendering, I can put this on my other sites just to put something there. I haven't put anything there in a while. And yeah, see if you can find me on X, and maybe we can get some kind of networking going there. Because that's where everybody seems to be, on some kind of social media. Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know how much I'll do right now tonight. I'm getting a headache too. It's the eye strain. I had this annoying twitch in my left eyelid. Almost said eyelash. Might as well be. But yeah, sometimes I just do the live stream to remember how to do it, and I don't know. I can't see the point in doing a deep study anymore on stuff, because I've done all the topics, done deep studies more than once sometimes. Okay, good to know. But yeah, I think also if it comes to algorithms with YouTube, which I'm caring less and less about YouTube, engagement in the comments section under the videos seems to help. And I know for a while I was trying to see if I could monetize, but I only ever got within 200 watch hours, and it goes by every 30 days. 200 watch hours of the 300 minimum, but it's falling. I dropped off like 300 watch hours just because I haven't been doing live streams. So, but doing live streams all the time is hard, especially when it's just you and you're out of ideas. And it would be great to have little discussions, but it's hard to find people who are on the same page who will show up every week, because too many times in the past I've tried it where I thought I had people coming and they'd come once or twice and then they drop off. I know one person who would, if at all possible, show up every time, but you need a group, I think. That's what people seem to like. Thank you. Yes, there's a lot of people, a lot more physical problems than mine. But yeah, so far, I mean, sometimes one of my molars is bothering me that anchors my bottom dentures, but it comes and goes. Other than that, the cataracts are becoming a big problem. Everything is blurry and smeared. Um, let's see what else. Hearing's okay, but I'm not sure if the hearing aid maintenance will be covered with the switch in insurance. I don't know. Anyhow, I hope the rapture is soon. I used to watch this one channel called Rock Island Books. They had some very nicely done videos, but it's date setting by calculation, and I've talked about that before. And he's moved the goalposts several times in the last year or two. He's strung out the last one to sometime between this past October and next October for the rapture. But the problem is, even with the calculations, is that I'm convinced there's a gap of possibly 3.5 years between the rapture and the start of the tribulation. Let me see if I can find my charts on that. Where did I put them? I think they're in downloads. Yeah. Which, don't forget about this page. Let's see, End Times Prophecy. That's the one. Now, what was I looking for? Oh, the gap. I hate that. That happens too many times. I got too many things on my mind. And if you see Spider Monkey, say hi. I know somebody ran into her recently, or him, I'm sorry, recently. Yeah, the best I can do right now is, I think, the wrath of God begins with the seals, but the tribulation is part of the wrath of God, but it doesn't begin until the 7-year covenant is signed or confirmed or enforced. So there has to be time for the formation of the kingdom of the beast. Yes, it's already ready to go, but it still takes time. I think once the rapture happens, it will be the trigger event, or as I called many years ago, the linchpin of prophecy, because it kicks off everything else. And one thing will be the cover story will be probably some kind of alien invasion with Project Bluebeam. And then along will come the Antichrist, who will bring peace and settle everybody down and institute this new religion and be seen as a peacemaker. This has to be. And I'm watching recent events, especially in American politics, which I believe the Western world is the kingdom of the beast. Probably not just America, but headquartered there perhaps, because the king of the beast will defeat the kings of the north, east, and south, so that leaves only one more place for the kingdom of the beast to be. And the recent events of the election and all, I'm seeing another people marching to lockstep. Remember back in 2020, something happened around the whole world where everybody marched lockstep. All of a sudden, like everybody got their orders, or if you're in Star Wars terms, Executive Order 66. Thank you, Bubba News. Welcome to the channel. Yes, may Jesus come any minute now. Anyway, they all march lockstep, meaning everybody in the world suddenly was given an order and they did it, down to local level, and people were policing each other on their conformity to edicts which were not, or mandates which were not laws. It was scary. That was the scariest part. Now it's happening on the light side of that, where suddenly people in governments around the world are, because of our election results, are marching the opposite way they were going. And spidey senses are going off. The changes sound very nice. The promises sound awesome, but everybody, there's always going to be the people who, move to another country and then their estate is flooded immediately. If you're watching the news, you know who I'm talking about. The whiny people who didn't like the results. And they would have said the same thing about us before, but I don't think we're anywhere near as psychotic about it. Hey, Iron, good to see you. But the red flag going up is, why are people in high places suddenly doing what the people want because of our election? People in other countries, leaders of other countries. And I'm looking out for this peacemaker. You know what? You see what I'm saying? There's been someone involved in the election in his family who ran a masterful, brilliant campaign. I'm not saying anything. It's way too early. I have not enough information, but I am saying that one of the attributes of the beast is political intrigue and peacemaking. This person will also be a master of dark arts, among other things. Somewhere, I don't have it handy, is a chart I made of attributes of the beast, things to look for. Because there's a lot of parts, like in Daniel, especially 11, where it gives a lot more detail about this person, the king of fierce countenance, which can be translated a couple different ways. But this is a charismatic person, a peacemaker, a strategist, not much different from the Emperor Palpatine in Star Wars. Only he hasn't had his face messed up by his own electrical whatever. But anyway, yeah, him too. He's playing a major role. Speaking of him, I think I posted on my community page once about the fact that the Greek words for the number of the beast all start with, 6, which is in Greek hex. Hex, hex, hex. What if the mark of the beast is triple X? Because that's the letter, the Greek letter, that starts those words, and it has a rough breathing mark. It isn't a whole character of its own. It's like an apostrophe, a backwards one. No, wait. Yeah, it's the backwards one, I think. I can't remember now. But anyway, what if it's triple X? A certain someone, renamed Twitter X, has space X. I'm waiting for the third X to drop. Just things I'm watching. Maybe nothing. But there's definitely something going on that is priming people for the deception of the beast, because it will be deception above all. I mean, even if you just look at Sun Tzu's Art of War, war is deception. So, yeah, and remember, there will be 10 kings. The beast will be one of them, and then he will overcome 3 of the kings. Those, I think, are the kings of the north, south, and east. So probably not someone in the Western world right now. They're all on his team. But we'll see how this goes. Yeah, there's a third X I'm waiting for. If I'm right about the name, the number of the name being triple X, or being, the number is 666, but the name might be triple X. And Neuralink and the mark of the beast is etched on the forehead or right hand. It's not an injection or a pill, but it will probably, as I speculated before, involve some kind of genetic material. We already know with certain things that my favorite expression for it is the hokey pokey has mRNA and forever, I forget what the word was, but self-replicating. So once you get it, you can't ever get rid of it. And to spike proteins and everything else. But anyway, that the mark of the beast may incorporate that sort of thing with an etching. There used to be, it was tried a while back, I guess it had drawbacks. When I was in grade school, they had a new way that they actually came to the school and just, it's kind of like an air gun. Of course, they didn't have anything in it, they told us. But a new way they were going to give people shots was with this air gun with like a circle with a bunch of little jets on it. They would put next to your skin, and it would inject it into your skin. Not real deep, but it would get in. And of course, that didn't catch on. It probably didn't get deep enough into muscle mass and all that sort of thing. But disclaimer: not giving medical advice. But anyway, that is a thing. Could have something to do with the etching of the mark of the beast. They may have been trying to clone super soldiers for a long time. That's a good question. It reminds me of a movie called The Island. I don't know if you've ever seen that. Raised a very important question where, yeah. And the question was, if we know they're cloning, we know they're messing around with all sorts of things, but the idea of the movie was that rich people would have organs they thought organs were being grown so that if they needed a transplant, it would be their own organ. They wouldn't need immunosuppressive drugs or anything, and they thought they were just organs growing in a lab. But it turned out the organs were failing, and the lab hid that and covered it up and grew entire people, clones. Only the clones were told lies. They were given a fake memories and told that they were rescued from some worldwide disaster, and they couldn't go outside because of radiation, which is a common thing in a lot of sci-fi movies. And it turns out that this was not the case at all. What they would do when somebody needed an organ, they would just rip open the clone and take their organs. Well, who knows if that isn't going on now? And because a lot of times you use fiction to tell things you can't tell otherwise. But I have no doubt that there's cloning and that it goes wrong. There are also whole body masks, if you want to say it that way, where people just don't look like where you can fool people next to you that you are a certain person and it's not them at all. There's been movies, I think it was some of the Mission Impossible, where they had these really tight-fitting masks that you couldn't tell it wasn't the person. Oh, these are whole body masks they have now. And sometimes they've seen people in the news that just look really weird, like they have weird creases in their neck and stuff like that. Who knows? Perilous times. And those are one of the reasons why I think there isn't much time left. It's not because of calculations or dreams and visions or portents in the sky. It's because I see the technology and the depths of evil and go, this can't go on for a long time. So that's why I think we're near the end. But because that brings me back to the Rock Island thing. What he wasn't considering is this gap. He thinks that, like most people do, that there won't be very much time, maybe a few months, between the rapture and the enforcement of the treaty that starts the 7 years. But like I said, it takes time for these kingdoms to form. So if his calculations depend on no or little gap, what I have here on the screen can't be true. If what I have on the screen is true, then he's wrong, and his calculations will never work. Who's right? We'll find out. But, you had that done to you, walk down a line of air-powered injection guns. Yeah, that's a thing. Wants to buy MSNBC, yeah, XNBC. Maybe X News. Who knows what it will be called? But the legacy media are, they dug their own grave. But that's another thing too. Those people are admitting things that they would never have admitted in 100 years if the election hadn't gone this way, which is interesting. So it seems the people who take orders blindly will take them from either side. Weird. Now, the thing is that people think that, this one world government of the Antichrist or the beast are forgetting the fact that there will be war throughout this time. The beast defeats 3 kings, and after that there is war. So it's not monolithic. There's always rebellion. Just to keep that in mind. So there are factions even among the evil, just like there are among the good. But we'll see. Time will tell what's going on. I always seem to wind up on prophecy when I do one of these off the cuff live streams. But at least the dishwasher is done making a lot of noise in the background now that I'm trying again to think of anything else I need to say. But yeah, for the most part, this work, I couldn't get the chat to come up on the part that you can't see. I don't know why that's not functioning. So anyway, boring for you guys, but it's fun to listen. Okay, well, anything else you want me to talk about? I'm gonna probably shut down pretty soon anyway. It's kind of late, but yeah. Other than that, standing for truth. If you do a search on it, it's usually the first thing that comes up. Let me see if I can find that. Let's see, where do I want to look for that? I guess I could do that right here. We'll go to YouTube and look for truth. Like I said in my community page, there's issues I have with it, but this is the channel. If they have live streams, I sometimes am in the chat. That's all I'm saying. I'm not there to support everything they believe, but and it irritates me when they have Ken Hovind on. I think he's arrogant, even though I agree with inner earth creationism. He's wrong about a lot of other things, especially King James onlyism. He's very obnoxious about that. But when they do lives, that's where I'd be. I think there's another one going to happen tomorrow if you look under live streams. And you have to scroll. He's got things scheduled into the middle of next month, or middle of January. Yeah, I think the next, December 2nd is going to be out. And there's Hovind again. Anyway, when there's no place else to be, you got to go somewhere, right? If you think of anything else, any other channel that's worth hanging around in the chat, let me know. Post it under the video. And I'm glad you're here, Christian. Thank you, and all of you. I don't know how many's here because I can't see my studio because the silly thing won't appear because it keeps trying to log me in, and it's supposed to be putting a thing on my phone to say, yes, this is me, but it isn't happening. I don't know what's going on with that, but oh well, it's no biggie. So what I might do is see if I can go right now to studio and see if there's really anybody here. Well, I thought that was studio. Yeah, it is. But where is what I'm doing right now? No, that's not what I wanted to do. Isn't YouTube fun? Let's see. Dashboard. Okay, it's supposed to tell me where my live stream is. Running right now. But it's not doing it. I don't know where that went. Oh well, I used to be able to find it. Hey, Mojo Shop, good to see you. Yeah, it's hard to find good Christian channels. But people like live streams, they like hanging out in the chat, and they like listening to panels. And that's the hard part, is finding a panel on a Christian channel where they're not calling each other names, not telling you there's something wrong with you for not being crude. Just having a mature discussion, that would be nice. Of biblical things. They want to talk about everything else. Anyway. So yeah, if there's a live Christian chat, I'll probably be at that channel I got on the screen. And that's pretty much all I have to talk about. Like I said, if you think of something else to do here. Like it said, you just put it in comments under the video here. Or hit me up on X if you can find me. 9 in chat? Okay, thanks. Yeah, I don't know why this... I don't know where the studio went. Yeah, I can't find it anywhere now. I don't know what they did with it. Oh well. Who cares about YouTube anyway? If everybody I knew wasn't on YouTube, I would just go to Rumble or something. Because sometimes I have more views on BitChute or Rumble than I do here, which is crazy. Kingdom in Context. Oh. I'm sorry to say Zen Garcia, who passed away some years ago, is a Gnostic, was a Gnostic, and serpent seed and all that, and I can't support that, but I don't know Kingdom in Context. Let me see if I can find that channel. Okay, we'll look in YouTube. Well, I guess I should do that here. Kingdom in Context. Okay. Does this one look good? Where'd the chat go so I can see what your response is? Yeah, YouTube is too Big Brother. But if that one of the top KIC is the one, and that's hopefully what you meant, if that looks like it. Not NASA, maybe. Were debunked 10 years ago. What's this final experiment nonsense? It's nonsense. Will Duffy is responsible. He's a charlatan. It's a charade for people who don't know what they're talking about. Yeah, NASA, as I figured. I've never heard of this channel on the screen, but I'll check it out sometime. All right. Yeah, that final experiment is not an experiment. It's not final. It proves nothing. It's about the 24-hour sun in Antarctica, and it's illogical. It's unscientific. It's not an experiment. They're going there to try to do an observation, but as everybody knows, once you get so close to a magnetic pole, you don't really know where you are. And they could easily fool anybody, especially the ones who have volunteered to go. Seem a little gullible to me, but to be fooled about where they really are. You could put them someplace, tell them it's the pole, and tell them they are seeing a 24-hour sun, which, again, doesn't prove anything or disprove anything, but it's a farce the whole way through, so I don't care about it. Duffy's supposed to be a pastor, but he's a terrible one. He's a heretic. Yeah, that's what TFE is, and it is absolutely pointless. So yeah, but pretty soon I'm going to get offline for a bit because the eye strain is starting to really hurt because I have to squint at everything. It's so blurry. Hard to find good doctrine channels anymore. Absolutely. Seeing so much falling away. Yep. Absolutely. Jesus said when he comes back, will he find faith on the earth? Absolutely. But yeah, I just don't have any more inkling of doing a deep dive study because I've done so many. I have almost 900 videos on YouTube, and all of them are on Odyssey because they used to automatically pick them up. They can't do that anymore because YouTube is YouTube. And on the other channels, BitChute and Rumble, I just uploaded selected videos. So they don't have everything. See, I plotted sun, moon, planets on an AE map for December 10th, 21st. Awesome. Everybody check out Iron FE's channel. Let me see if I can get your channel link and post that in the chat. so everybody can go there. Um, I don't always understand what I'm looking at, but partly because I just can't see. And I think it's funny, though, to listen to the little robot voice that reads out the earthquake magnitudes. That's fun to listen to. Restricted driving, reading, and computer. Yeah. These are my computer glasses. They used to work really well, and then suddenly my eyesight changed drastically again, and now I can't see anymore. I have different glasses for distance, and everything's blurry outside too. It just, they can't fix it anymore with glasses. I have to wait until my cataracts are bad enough for them to do surgery. Especially with Medicare, it has to qualify, and it just is what it is. I'd rather we all just went to heaven and when all our problems would be solved, but apparently it's not time yet. But it can't be very long. Main thing is there's a lot of very confused people that need prayed for. There's psychotic people online that need prayed for. And there's a bunch of Christians who are going to regret not wanting the fruit of the Spirit, which they call soft and politically correct. So yeah, both eyes are pretty messed up. I can't see at any distance. Right eye's been messed up for a long time, that I use more for distance because I have double vision, so I don't use them both at the same time. But now the left eye I use most of the time for computer distance is really about impossible to see with. Okay, have I seen your name here before? I don't. Have I ever seen anybody's name? Nuevo Laredo? If I'm reading stuff wrong, it's not my fault. But yeah, I can't keep going much longer because, like I said, the eye strain's getting bad. Let's see, but I wanted to try out the sound effects, and that worked, and I finally got the chat on screen so that when I put the video on another channel, they know who I'm talking to. I don't have my green screen working, but that's okay. See Lightning 300 miles. I know I've seen your name before. Welcome to the channel. Yeah, like I said, leaving comments under videos seems to do more for the algorithm, and I don't care anymore. I'm not even going to try to monetize. What it will do is make the videos more apt to come up in suggested videos. But like I said, I'm on X now, and Rumble, and BitChute, and Odyssey, and I wish more people would go to, especially Rumble seems to be a good platform, where we wouldn't have to even think about YouTube anymore. And you can have live chats. I haven't done live streams there because, I have like a handful of viewers, and if I have 2,000 subs here and only 10 come to chat on average, I would probably have no one in the live stream there, so I'm not sure what the point is yet. But if we can get a community going, maybe we can, do something on one of the other platforms. So, but it is what it is, and I know you guys like to come, and I'm glad you could. And if you see Spider Monkey, say hi, and anybody else who isn't here that usually is. But yeah, I'm getting a really bad headache from trying to see. So anyway, there's a bunch of channels. And again, let me see if I can find my Rumble real quick. There's Rumble. And I know this is in my links, but I'll put it here in the chat. And yeah, I don't have very many views in Rumble. I think it was BitChute. Oh, I got some kind of notification here. Oh, okay. Titan Long just started following you. I should go there and follow back. There we are. And okay. got notifications. And then we also have, let's see, BitChute. I've got 357 views on my previous video, which was Interesting Times. I think I have 100 and something on YouTube. Chow and DD are good buddies, yeah. Tell them to come around sometime. It takes long range storm lightning pictures. Oh, okay, cool. And the other one was Odyssey, also known as Libry, LBRY. 4 views in 2 months. But I consider these more like backing each other up. You know, if something happens to one channel, I've got all my stuff on another. So I used to do Twitch and DLive, but I just didn't like the interface. Those are gaming platforms, and I don't do anything with those anymore. But Rumble's the most likely place I would go if everybody who comes to my live streams went to Rumble. I'd probably just go there and dispense with YouTube. I would leave my channel there, but probably not put new content. Hey, Lee, good to see you. But yeah, I got to shut down because I keep trying to look at things and it really making my head hurt. So it's getting near my bedtime anyway. So at least my voice kind of cleared up. It's probably because I'm tired, which is weird. But the more I talk, the more it clears up. Let's see. Yep, seeing lightning bolts at 300 miles shouldn't be possible with our standard cosmology. Cool. Hard to get a good picture of lightning unless you happen to have your video running, or you get lucky with a still shot and you have the right exposure set and all that. Video is a lot easier to catch with, though. Anyway, I'm going to shut down because I have to. And thanks again for everybody coming. I'm going to see if I can find my little outro, outsplash. And we'll see you again sometime. Like I said, comments under the video, comments on X. Try to keep in touch. All right, thanks for coming.